Respected HOD, Dr. Sunil J. Kirloskar sir, our guest speaker of the session, Mr. Harish Babu, dear fellow colleagues, participants of the program, and all the viewers out there. A very good morning to one and all. On behalf of the entire Civil Engineering Department of Vidyavardhini's College of Engineering and Technology, I, Anu Murli, Assistant Professor of Civil Engineering Department, welcome each one of you to today's session. Today, it is with immense happiness and utmost pride that I welcome our speaker, Mr. Harish Babu, who is a very close friend of mine. Harish pursued his BTech from NSS College of Engineering, Kerala. Further, he ingressed in his career in the year 2008 with Al Nabuda Contracting in Dubai as a technical engineer for the worldwide acclaimed Dubai Airport Expansion Project. He then moved to Qatar in the year 2011, where he worked as estimation engineer for major highway and development works with Gulfar Al Misnad Engineering. He returned to Dubai in the year 2014 and worked with Wade Adams Contracting as quantity surveyor for development projects like pumping stations, roads, pipelines, golf course, etc. Mr. Harris is currently working with Al Futtaim Tarmac LLC as senior quantity surveyor for major roadworks in Dubai for the last 3 years. Keeping suspense and giving surprise are always a part of his nature. So was his telegram poll questions. Just like the majority of you, I am also keen to know the answers which he would be revealing during the session. Harris would be helping us gain more insight into quantity surveying through today's session on the topic Quantity Surveying as a Profession. Harris, welcome to our webinar session, and the platform is all yours.
Thank you, Anu. Good morning, everyone. Hope everybody is safe and healthy. First of all, I would like to thank Vidyavardhini College Civil Engineering Department for giving me this opportunity to discuss, to share my experience as a quantity surveyor. In fact, my experience is in the Middle East region, and I will be sharing my experience on a Middle East work environment. But basically, it's all these basics are same. So, and also most of the companies will be having, or most of the multinational companies will be having the same style of working. So it will be beneficial for all of you. I framed my session to give you an insight to the construction industry. I will be mentioning all the activities right from the start till the end. I will be briefly I will be briefly mentioning the activities, and I will be giving you more explanations, more details of activities and responsibilities of a quantity surveyor. I will be sharing my presentation. I hope everybody can view this one now. Okay, we'll start. Quantity surveying as a profession. If you analyze a construction business, there are mainly three parties involved in the construction business, right from the start till the end. There are client, consultant, and contractor. Client is the person or an authority or a developer for whom the project is carried out.
Harish, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but
Yeah.
you should start your screen sharing.
It's already done, right?
No, it is not on.
1 minute. Sorry for that. I think now it is okay.
Yes, yes, perfect, perfect.
Sorry
Correct.
for that. Okay.
Thank you.
So, as I told, there are three parties involved in a construction business. There are client, consultant, and contractor. Client is the person or an authority or a developer for whom the project is carried out. And consultant, they are the engineers responsible for the designing the project. And contractor, who is responsible for the execution of the project. These are the major three parties involved in the construction business. Right from the start means when a client is decided to start a project, or let's say to build a apartment, let's say for 10-story building. He want to build a 10-story building. Then first of all, he will approach a consultant, a designing consultant. Then he will explain his requirements, what is actually need. Then accordingly, the consultant will be designing the project. Then after designing the project, then it comes the execution stage. Then it will be going to the contractor. The contractor will be executing the projects. So from start till the end, there are mainly two stages involved in this process. So these two stages are, one is pre-contract stage and another is post-contract stage. Pre-contract stage, which means before contract, and post-contract, after contract. Then what is contract? Contract is the agreement between the client and the contractor to execute the job. So there is two phases, two stages: before signing the contract and after signing the contract. So before signing the contract, there are some activities involved, and after signing the contract, there are activities involved. In both phases, there are consultant involved, contractor involved. So these are the activities, major activities which is involved. In pre-contract stage, when a client approaching a consultant for a design, he will start analyzing the site, he will do the soil test and everything, then he will do the architectural design, he will do the structural design, he will prepare the contract drawing, then he will prepare the BOQ, then he will prepare the entire tender documents, which includes the specification, the conditions of contract, drawing, BOQ, the entire full set he will prepare. Then he will give this all documents to the client. Then what next client will do? Client will invite the contractors to tender the project. Then there will be many contractors who will be participating in the tender, and it is then contractors' turn. They will be doing they will get the tender document from client, then they will study the tender document, they will go through all the documents, conditions, drawings, everything. Then he will start the rate analysis. He will start pricing the BOQ. Then when the rate analysis is done and pricing of BOQ is done, then the entire tender document will be ready. Then he will submit his tender with the full price. Then all the contractors who are participating in this tender will be submitting their tender submissions. Then the client, what he will do? He will evaluate the tender. He will award the tender basis of some criteria. There will be price basis, there will be He will also check whether the contractor can do this job, if it is a big job, if the contractor have the experience of doing such jobs. Such criteria will be there. Accordingly, the owner or the client, he will award the contract to a particular contractor. So the pre-contract stage is over. Then it goes to the post-contract stage. The midway is signing the contract. When the client is signing a contract with a contractor, then it goes to the post-contract stage. In the post-contract stage, there are many activities involved. There are preparation of working drawings, preparation of other documents, submittals, like this working drawings. They will prepare the working drawings, they will prepare the method statement, they will prepare the other material submittals, all submittals required and approvals required prior to start the work. Then work execution. Then the work execution will go on. Then in between there will be interim payment application. What is interim payment application? It is nothing but it is the billing of the work. There will be frequency to submit the bill, maybe it is monthly or twice in a month, like that. Then preparation of new rates or preparation of variations. If they require any new rates to be submitted, in case if there is any variation from the actual scope of work, there is new rates required, because it will not be there in the BOQ. This rate will not be there in the BOQ. In these cases, we have to submit the new rate. Then after completion of the project, there will be final account. Final account means the final bill. That's it. Final bill with all the details, all the backups. This is what the final account is. So this is the responsibilities, this is the activities involved in the contractor side during post-contract stage. And consultant in the post-contract stage, what they are doing, they are just acting as a mediator between the client and the contractor. They will be having the approval authority for these all activities. You can see here, consultant, their activities are mainly review of working drawings and other submittals, work inspection and approvals, review of the payment applications, issuing the payment certificates, review of final account and approval. These all are the activities, major activities for consultant. So during this entire process, some of these activities are for the QS. I will be explaining in detail what are the activities involved here. You can see here in the pre-contract stage, in the consultant side, there is preparation of BOQ. This is one of the activity, one of the responsibility of a QS in the consultant side. And in the contractor side, in the pre-contract stage, you can see rate analysis, pricing of BOQ. These all activities, these responsibilities are for the QS in the contractor side. And in the post-contract stage, if you look at the contractor side, there is preparation of interim payment application, that is bill, preparation of new rates, preparation of variations, final account. These all are the responsibilities of a QS or quantity surveyor. And also in the consultant side, post-contract stage, there is review of this, all review and approval. They will review the payment applications submitted by the contractor. They will issue the payment certificate, and they will review the final account. They will issue the final certificate. These all are the activities involved. So these QS responsibilities, I will go in detail now. First is preparation of BOQ. What is a BOQ? BOQ is nothing but its bill of quantities. As I told you, this preparation of BOQ is the responsibility of a consultant QS in the pre-contract stage. So how he will prepare the BOQ? Anyway, he is already having the contract drawing, which is prepared by consultant. He will review the drawings, Accordingly, he will take the quantities, he will prepare the BOQ. How he will prepare the BOQ? So while preparing the BOQ, there are a lot of criteria to be met. Okay, there are some points I mentioned here, which is to be noted while preparing the BOQ. First of all, unit of measurement. Unit of measurement to be as per standard method of measurement. Inclusions and exclusions to be as per standard method of measurement. All the items to be separately mentioned as per standard method of measurement. So it's all about standard method of measurement. That's it. What is standard method of measurement? It is a standard. Everywhere there is a standard for method of measurement. In India, we are using IS 1200, Indian standard 1200. This is the one we are using in India for referring the standard method of measurement. But in foreign countries, in majority of the foreign countries, including Middle East, here in Dubai also, we are using CESMM3, which is Civil Engineers Standard Method of Measurement Edition 3. This is what we are referring here in the Middle East, and most of the foreign countries, it is this standard. So in India, we are using IS 1200. So when we prepare the BOQ, it should be based on a standard. So it should be based on standard. If it is in India, it should be based on IS 1200. If it is in other countries, it should be based on CESMM3. Okay. So here is the relevance of the question which I shared yesterday. I have shared 3 questions yesterday. So we will take the first question. This is the question. This is a plan of a concrete slab of 5 meter by 5 meter size and having a thickness of 100 mm. There is an opening of half meter by half meter at one corner. My question is, what is the BOQ quantity or payable quantity for the concrete as per IS 1200? Okay. Basically, it is a calculation question. It is very simple for everyone. If I ask you what is the volume or what is the area, then it is very simple. But I ask you what is the BOQ quantity or payable quantity as per IS 1200. Here is the importance of a standard method of measurement. So before telling you the answer, I will just show you what it says in IS 1200. This is a screenshot I have taken from IS 1200 part 2, which explains the concrete works. Here you can see, first thing, unit of measurement. Unless otherwise stated, all concrete work shall be measured in cubic meters. So in this question, I have given the options in cubic meter and square meter. So the first doubt is clear now. It should be in cubic meter, not in square meter. Okay. And next what it says. Next, here in this question, our doubt is whether to detect this small hole or to include the small hole. We can refer what it says in IS 1200. You can see here, no deduction shall be made for the following. Here you can see in the top, opening up to 0.1 meter cube or as specified. So which means no deduction can be made for the openings up to 0.1 meter cube. If the volume of the opening is less than or equal to 0.1 meter cube, no need to deduct this area. So coming back to our question, you can see here now, this opening is 0.5 by 0.5. If you calculate the volume of that opening, it will be 0.5 by 0.5 by 0.1. Thickness is 0.1. That means 100 mm. Okay. So the volume, it will be 0.025 cubic meter, 0.025, which is less than 0.1. So no need to detect the volume of that opening. So now it's simple, 5 meter by 5 meter by 100 mm. So it is very simple now, 2.5 meter cube. This is the answer. I think around 20% of people give us correct answer. So it is basically it is a calculation. But the thing is that we have to refer IS 1200 if you consider it is for a BOQ quantity. That's it. I just want to show you that this is a simple example how we will deal these things in when you are working as a QS. That's it. And the second question, and also I will show you here, this is what we refer here, Civil Engineers Standard Method of Measurement, CESMM3. I just give you one screenshot of CESMM3, in which there also you can see it is mentioned here, cubic meter, and measurement rules are mentioned here. Pockets or holes which are defined as large or small voids in accordance with the rule D3 of class G, and it is mentioned here what is small and what is large. So this is how we are referring. The same way what we referred in IS 1200, we are referring in CES MM3. I'm just comparing the difference in the standard method of measurements. That's it. Then we are going to the next second question, what I ask you. Here we need to excavate a pit of size 6 meter by 5 meter by 5 meter. Okay. Here on the side, we need to excavate extra because if you are excavating in a one stretch, the wall will collapse. So we need to give some extra step there. Now the question is, what is the BOQ quantity of excavation for this excavation? This also my question is, what is the BOQ quantity as per IS 1200? Not what is the, if I'm asking you what is the volume of excavation in this picture, it is very clear for you. You will take the step also on the side, you will add both and you can get it very easily. It's a simple calculation. But if you refer IS 1200, you have to know whether this additional step it is to be included or not. That we need to check. So if you check in the IS 1200 part 1, which is for earthwork, it says here, the following work shall not be measured separately. The following work shall not be measured separately. In that one, you can see item C, unauthorized benching or battering or for excavation, and E, which says, I don't know whether it is clear for you. Anyway, I will read it. Steps inside of sides of deep excavation, it is not measured separately. So in this case, coming back to our question, in this case, we cannot calculate additional excavation. So it is simple now. It is just 6 meter by 5 meter by 5 meter. It is 150 meter cube. That's it. So if you know the way how we check in the standard method of measurement, it is very simple. And also I think around 19 to 20% of people corrected it, give us the correct answer. So this is the difference. And moving forward to, okay, I also will show you what it says in the CES MM3, which we refer here. You can see a volume of measure. The volume measured for the excavation of a structure or foundation shall be the volume which is either occupied by the structure above any part of the structure. So this is only for the structure which is going to come there. That part only will be covered. Any additional excavation on the side, it will not be covered. It is clear. Now my third question. It is for a road. It is a 3-layer road. Let it be viaringos, base course, and sub-base. Okay. My question is, what is the area or what is the quantity of, what is the BOQ quantity as per IS 1200 if the road length is 1000 meter, which is 1 kilometer? Here we need to check in which unit it is measured and which is the width we need to consider. Here we can see in the first layer, we have the top width of 7 meter, we have a bottom width of 7.99 meter, and we have a slope length of 700 and 700 mm. Okay, so we don't know how we will calculate the quantity here. So this one we need to refer IS 1200. Here the part is 17, which refers to road works. Here you can see in the middle somewhere here you can see the width shall be between the edge of the payment. The width shall be between the edge of the payment. Which is edge of the payment? Here the edge of the payment is here and it is here. So our width is only 7 meter and the length is 1000 meter. So the answer is clear now, 7000 meters square. So this slope portion cannot be included in the BOQ. So this is the points. These are some examples I have shown you to give you an idea how BOQ is prepared. So what are the factors to be considered while preparing a BOQ? I think now it's clear for you. All the answers are clear for you. And also this is the reference which is there in the CES MM3, which says the width of each course of material shall be measured at the top surface of the course. We have to consider only the top surface of the course. Okay, this is same here in Middle East and other foreign countries also. Okay, then moving forward. Now, the consultant side, the preparation of BOQ, that is the activity of a QS. Then moving forward, we have the contractor side. Now the consultant prepared the BOQ, everything we prepared as a tender document, then given back to client. Then client called the contractors to quote for the job. Then there starts the contractor's job. Contractors, what he will do? He will study all the tender document. Then he want to price the document, price the BOQ. For that one, he need to do the rate analysis. What is rate analysis? It is very simple. We need to have rate for each item in the BOQ. For example, if you want to build a 5-story or 6-story building, there we have different BOQ items. There is excavation, there is piling, there is maybe raft foundation, there is brickwork, slab, column, wall, reinforcement. A lot of things are there. So each item to be clearly mentioned in the BOQ. It will be there in the BOQ, which is prepared by the consultant. Then comes to the contractor side. He need to check the quantity also in the BOQ, whether it is correct or not. There are two types of contract, mainly two types. One is lump sum contract, one is remeasurable contract. If it is a lump sum contract, if you price a BOQ with the existing quantities in the BOQ and give your price without checking the quantities or whether they are correct or not, you priced with some rates and you got the final amount of the project, then given to the client back. Then when you are executing the job, you found out that the quantity is more. It is not same as what it is mentioned in the BOQ. Then what you will do? If it is a lump sum contract, you cannot do anything. You have to accept it. You have to execute the work as it is. But if it is a remeasurable contract, you have the privilege to check the remeasure the quantity. You can change the quantity according to what it is there actual at site. So it is very important while doing the rate analysis in the pre-contract stage to check the quantity whether it is correct or not. Okay. Okay, then rate analysis. You will do the rate analysis. How you will do the rate analysis? There are some points to be noted. An item rate, for example, an excavation. First item, let's say excavation. It is consist of material, manpower, machinery, overhead, and profit. These are the 5 major components of a rate. There is material part, there is manpower part, which is labor part, machinery part, then overhead and profit. So, for example, excavation. In case of excavation, there is no much materials involved. But there is manpower, there will be laborers working for the excavation, there will be machinery, there will be excavators working for it. So these are the items we need to consider for excavation. Then overhead and profit. What is overhead? Overhead is, if you are running a company, you have your own cost, like your office setup, your other supporting services like your IT or your accounts. You have your own cost as a company. So this is your overhead cost. This overhead cost normally, we are while doing the rate analysis, we are giving as some percentage, like 5%, 10%, 15%. In that range, there will be. It depends on each company. Okay. Then the profit. Profit is purely decided by the higher management. It is up to the management whether to put a higher profit or lower profit. If they really need to win a project, they will reduce their profit. If they feel that it is okay, we can get it even if we put more profit. So it is up to the higher management to decide the profit. But material, manpower, and machinery, it's purely the QS job to estimate accurately what is the cost coming. Okay, how we will estimate this one. For material part, for example, we are doing a block work. The material is the block, then we have we need the mortar. These all things we need to get the latest rate from the market. While doing the rate analysis, we have to get the latest rate from the market, from the suppliers. The time of doing the rate analysis, we will get quotation from suppliers, different suppliers, and we will see which supplier is giving us the lesser rate. Accordingly, we will put our rate here for the materials. Okay. Then about the material quantity. Here, one thing we need to consider. You remember when I give you the questions, in that question, I ask you what is the BOQ quantity. In that one, I told you it is based on standard method of measurement, whether to include or to exclude for excavation, whether to include the side or not. It is based on standard method of measurement. But when you are doing the rate analysis, you have to consider the actual quantity. Okay, because if you are excavating something, if you need to have some steps on the side, it is your job. You have to do the job anyway. So you have to calculate what is the actual quantity required to do the work. On that basis, you have to derive the rate. So the additional work, what you are doing on the side of excavation, you will be covered in the rate. Even though it is not covered in the quantity, it is covered in the rate. So you are safe. So in that way, you have to calculate what is the actual material required. And also you have to give some provisions for the wastage. Definitely there will be some wastages if you do concreting, or if you do the brickwork, or whatever it is. There will be some sort of wastages like 2% or 3% something. So that percentage also you have to provide. It will be based on the experience, or every company will have their own standards, something. So accordingly you can provide that one. Then next thing is productivity of manpower and machinery. What is productivity? Productivity means the output. For example, we need to build a wall of brick. Then if a mason can do a brick work of 10 square meter per day, that is his productivity. That is what productivity is. How much amount of work can a person or a machinery can do in a day? That is the productivity. So this productivity you have to consider while doing the rate analysis. We have like 1,000 cubic meter of excavation to be done. And if you don't know the productivity, it is not possible to do the rate analysis. You know how much excavation can be done with an excavator in a day. Accordingly, you can put the rate of machinery, and accordingly you can reach the rate. Okay. So the productivity, most of the companies will have their own productivity based on their experience. And there are some standard data also available. So most of the companies not referring any standard data. They are using their own data, which is by experience. Okay. Then also any additional item, when you are doing the pricing of BOQ, you have to check all the items are included in the BOQ or not. For example, if you are doing a building work, if one item is missing there in the BOQ, like there is no plastering, so you have to identify if there any missing item. If any missing item is there, you have to add it separately and explain what it is. Okay, that also you need to make sure while doing the rate analysis and pricing of BOQ. So these are the major points while doing the rate analysis. When you do the rate analysis as a QS, as I told you, you have to calculate material, manpower, and machinery. Okay, this is the cost. Then additionally, you have to add overhead. It will be company specific. Each company will have their own overhead. Then the profit. Profit will be decided by the management. So by adding these 5 factors, you will get a rate of a particular item. Okay, for a particular work, you will get a rate. So you can put that rate in the BOQ. This is how you are doing the pricing of BOQ. Then after pricing of BOQ, the tender will be ready, the tender will be submitted, then it goes to the post-contract stage. In the post-contract stage, actually post-contract stage is the execution stage. There, the contractor, first of all, they are preparing the working drawing. They have the contract drawing. From the contract drawing, they cannot do the work directly. They will do the working drawing and the other submittals, documentation, any NOCs required, this all sort of things he will do in the initial stage. Then work starts. Then comes the QS job, preparation of interim payment application. As I told you, it is nothing but it is the bill of work. For every contract, there will be a frequency mentioned in the contract, frequency of submission, like whether it is monthly or two times in a month or whatever it is. It will be mentioned in the contract. So accordingly, the QS have to prepare payment application. How you will prepare the payment application? All works carried out till date to be included in the payment application. For example, the work started last month and end of last month, for example, work started this month and end of this month, we need to submit a payment application. What all items need to be included here in this payment application? Whatever work you carried out during this month, you have to include in the payment application. How you will include? For example, we have done the excavation this month. How you know the payment work is done? It is based on the inspection request. There will be inspection request for each activity in a construction. Who will be raising the inspection request? The contractor will raise the inspection request. He will do the inspection request. Then he will attach the drawing where the work is done. Then he will give to the consultant. Their site inspectors, they will come and check at site whether the work is done properly or not. Then he will approve the work. It's okay. So this document, this inspection request is the backup for you to submit your bill, to submit your payment application. So backup documents are very, very important. If there is no backup document, you cannot claim anything. So if the work is not approved, you cannot claim. So for example, if we have 1,000 cubic meter of excavation to be done for the whole project, and the first month we have done like 200 cubic meter. So if we have the data backup for this 200 cubic meter as inspection request, then we will include this inspection request along with this payment application. We will submit. Payment application is nothing but it is the same style of BOQ. We will have the same rate, but the quantities will be different because whatever work we have done, we add only that quantity and we will find out what is the total amount for the month. Okay. And Variations. What is variations? Variation is nothing but it is if there any deviation from the scope of work. For example, uh, if it is a road work, let's say if the bearing goes, we have to do like 50 thick bearing goes we have to do, and the client want an additional of some temporary works or something which is 60 or something. In this case, it is an additional work. It is a variation from the original scope. This is called a variation. If you do any variations, that also we need to include here. Okay. New rates. What is new rates? New rates is new rate comes when there is a variation. As I told you, if instead of 50 thick bearing goes, we need to do, if the client told you to do another 60 thickness, we don't have that rate in the BOQ. So in this case, we need to give a new rate. We have to prepare a new rate, which will be more than this 50 thick rate. That we need to prepare. Okay, and that also we need to submit uh, along. If that work is done, we have to include in the interim payment application. So that is what interim payment application is. Then moving forward, it is preparation of new rates, preparation of variations. How we will prepare a new rate? As I told you, if the client told you to do another 60 thick bearing course instead of 50 thick bearing course, what we will do? We have the rate in the BOQ for 50 thick. From this BOQ, we have to derive another rate. So we have to submit our calculations, how we calculated. We have to split our rate into manpower, machinery, material, overhead, and profit. Based on this one, we will find out what is the new rate, what is the additional work involved in the new item. Let's say if instead of 50 we done 60 so the material is more. So you will check whether any additional manpower activity involved or not, or machinery activity involved. If not involved, we will not add that part. Only the material part we will increase. Then we will submit our new rate. Then consultant will check that one, the rate is okay or not. Then he will approve. This is the process of making new rates. And variation also the same. Variation means this work is variation. So we need to submit a variation, like if they told you to lay 1 kilometer temporary road additional, then we have to find out what is the total quantity, what is the additional new rate, and we have to prepare a separate variation mentioning what is the total amount coming for this variation. We need to submit this one. Okay, that is variation. So you can see here new rates. Rates are prepared based on additional items which are not part of BOQ. Then new rates to be derived from any existing rate with the help of schedule of rate. What is schedule of rate? New rates. Schedule of rate is nothing but it is the percentage of your rate. When you giving a rate to client, you also have to give what is the percentage in that rate. What is the percentage of material, machinery, manpower, overhead, and profit? What all are the percentage of these all items in this rate? So based on this percentage, we are deriving our new rate. Okay. Then also supporting documents to be submitted if required for the new rate. If any new material you are purchasing, if you have any purchase request or anything, or supplier invoice, that also you can attach along with the new rate. Okay, this is all about variation and new rates. Then next is consultant side. In the post contract stage, consultant side, as I told you, it is just a mediator between client and contractor. Consultant who is just checking the work, inspecting the work at site, whether it is done as per specification or not, and accordingly he will approve our work, he will approve our payment application, he will approve our submittals, he will issue the payment certificate. Based on this payment certificate, we will get the money from client. And final account also, like he will check whatever items we have submitted, he will review everything, and at the end of the project he will issue a final payment certificate. Accordingly, we will get the full payment from the client. This is how the full process is going on. So Now it is clear. I think it is clear for you what all are the activities happened, activities involved in the full process of a project. Okay, in which I explained what are the responsibilities of a QS. There are QS. There will be QS in the consultant side. There will be QS in the contractor side. In both phases, both stages. Okay, in the pre-contract stage as well as in the post-contract stage. So these are the basic responsibilities of a QS. Then moving forward, there are additional responsibilities. Whatever responsibilities I have mentioned so far, it is the basic responsibilities of a junior level or a mid-level QS. When you are promoting to higher levels, you have more responsibilities. If you are going to a senior level quantity surveyor or managerial level quantity surveyor, then you have more responsibilities. What are those responsibilities? One is contract administration. That is the important thing. What is contract administration? What is contract? I told you contract is the agreement between the client and the contractor. So contract administration. Contract administration is an important part. Why? Because there are a lot of conditions mentioned in the contract. So we need to check whether they're complying with all the conditions which is mentioned in the contract. For example, in case of payment, maybe it is mentioned in the contract like 30 days after completion of work, 30 days you will get the payment. If the client is not paying you within 30 days, you have to inform them. It is a contractual contract. In this case, the contract, it is not followed. Conduct is not followed. So what we need to do, this QS responsibility to monitor these all things, whether it is as per the contract or not. So you have to be very careful about what mentioned in the conditions of contract, general conditions of contract, particular conditions of contract, and he is involved in finalizing the contract with the client in pre-contract stage. When there is contract signing is happening, in that time it is senior level QS responsibility to go through the contract, read everything, understand everything. Okay. Then managing the contractual correspondences. What is contractual correspondences? As I told you, if there is any variation or any deviation from the contract, he we need to write them officially. We need to give them letter officially saying that contract says so and so. It is not as per the contract. So this is a variation, or this is so and so things. So we need to inform them in a timely manner. This is what a QS, senior level QS or managerial level QS job is. So this is very important. Contract administration is very important. For I am showing here one conditions of contract. This is called FIDIC. Okay, FIDIC, FIDIC, conditions of contract for construction. This is the one most of the companies are referring in most of the countries. But some countries, they will have their own conditions. I don't know in India how we are. I think some of the projects we are using the FIDIC, and then some projects they will have their own conditions. Anyway, in most of the countries it will be FIDIC, FIDIC, which is the basis of preparing the general conditions of a contract. Okay, then there will be particular conditions. Particular conditions means a client, if you want to add something in the contract additionally in his favor or something, then he can add that one. That is particular conditions of contract. So I'm just showing this one to tell you that this is the conditions of contract in most of the countries following. Okay, and this next responsibility of a senior level QS, it is project forecast. What is project forecast? Forecast of project forecast means foreseeing. Forecast of material requirement with the help of planning engineers. Let's say if we have a 2-year contract or 2 or 3-year contract, we need to procure our materials. We need to order our materials based on the requirement at site. So we don't know when the requirement will come. What we will do? We will do the forecast. How we will do the forecast? We have the planning engineers who are preparing the program of work for the entire duration of the project. What activities come when? Accordingly, by using this uh, program, QS have to calculate the quantity which is required in that particular time. For example, next month we have uh, 10 square meter of block work to be done. And next month after that, we have another 100 square meter to be done. So accordingly, the QS have to calculate what is the quantity required at that time. Then this will be useful for purchasing the materials. Okay, this is what forecast of materials. Then forecast of revenue. What is revenue? Revenue is nothing but whatever quantity we have done multiply by our rate. That is what our revenue is. So we know how much work we are going to do in coming months. We have the program. So accordingly, we can also calculate what will be the amount we are going to get, what will be the revenue we are going to get in each month. So that is called the forecast of revenue. Then forecast of cost. Forecast of cost means we have the cost. We have to purchase the material. We have to pay the salary for our laborers. We have to give, if we are hiring something from outside, we have to give their charge. These all our cost. So these cost also we need to forecast. Okay, this is called forecast of cost. Then P&L forecast. P&L means profit and loss forecast. This also we need the forecast. Why? Because, for example, we are starting the job this month and it is running for another 12 months or 24 months. Each month, maybe in the starting, we have to purchase a lot of things. Then we have to spend a lot of money. If you check the balance at the bottom line, it will be negative. So it will be loss, but it is not an actual loss. In the next month, it will be covered up. We will be getting paid for this one in the next months. So each month we have to forecast what is the profit, what is the loss. This is called P&L forecast. Okay, these all are responsibilities of QS under project forecast. Then next it is coming costing of project. What is costing? Costing nothing but comparison of cost. There is estimated cost. When we are doing the rate analysis, we have an estimate of cost. We have material cost estimation, we have machinery cost, we have manpower cost. So we will compare this cost when we are doing an activity, we will check the actual cost. So this is the comparison statement between estimated cost and actual cost. This is required. Why? This is required. We need to know whether is there any additional cost or additional material cost, additional manpower cost. If there's anything, we need to restrict that one. We need to know, we need to monitor that. That's why we are preparing the comparison statement. Then reconciliation of materials. What is reconciliation of materials? We know we have estimated some quantities of material for a particular work. As per the estimate, we have some quantities. So when we are executing, whether it is the same quantity we are using there or not, that we need to monitor. That is called a reconciliation of materials. If there are any additional materials using outside, is something is wasted more than what we estimated, so that we need to monitor. That is the responsibility of a senior level QS, reconciliation of materials. Then allowable cost of material versus actual cost of materials. What is allowable cost? As I told you, we have estimated the rate based on some rate which is received from the suppliers. So supplier giving you some rates in the initial stage, in the tendering stage, and when we are executing the work, we are approaching the same supplier or some other suppliers for the material. So they will be giving you some rate. So we need to compare this rate with the rate what we estimated in the initial stage. We need to get same rate or something less than that. If it is going more, it is not good. So this sort of comparison we need to do. This also a responsibility of a senior level QS. Then it is preparation of financial report. What is financial report? Every month, a senior level QS or a manager level QS need to do financial report for the project. It is nothing but analysis, margin analysis. Margin analysis means analyzing the bottom line, revenue minus cost, what is coming at the bottom. If it is loss or profit, every month we have to do, and monthly basis plus project to date. Whatever work done so far for the project for the last, let's say, 5 months, 6 months, for the entire project, what is the bottom line now, whether it is profit or loss. This is what profit and loss statement for the project. So this also a responsibility of a senior level QS. And that's all about my topics for today. I hope you have got a fairly good picture about how it is going in the construction industry. Okay, so now it's up to you, you peoples. You can ask any if you have any doubts, you open up. Thank you.
Thank you, Harris, for a very wonderful session. And we are already piled up with questions. So shall we move on to the question answer session?
Okay.
Okay, the first question comes from Mitesh Raut.
Okay.
He's a student of Thakur Polytechnic in second year.
Okay.
He asked, what is the scope for consultant and contractor after diploma in civil engineering?
After diploma in civil engineering, actually, as per my experience in the Middle East, it most of the companies, they are recruiting their employees based on their experience. There only some companies, they are looking to their qualifications, like whether they're degree holder or diploma holder, something like that. So it is up to their experience and their capability or capacity to present themselves in front of the company. So I can see many companies where diploma holders are working as site engineers, as QS, as planning engineers. In lot of companies, I have seen that one. So there are a lot of scope for diploma holders in this sector.
Thank you, Harris. The next question is from Napisa Sheikh.
Okay.
Sir, you mentioned preparation of drawings in contractor column. Is it contractor's responsibility, or is it provided by client or owner to the contractor?
Actually, there are two types of drawings. In the initial stage, it is called contract drawing. It is prepared by consultant in the initial stage. Before, as I told you, it is in the pre-contract stage. When it comes in the post-contract stage, the contractor need to prepare the working drawing. It is called a working drawing. From the contract drawing, for the big projects, it is not possible to execute the work directly from the contract drawing, because a lot of informations will not be in a single paper. So they need to prepare separate working drawing, which is called also shop drawing. The contractor need to prepare and need to submit to the consultant for approval. So after approval of this drawing only, they can proceed with the work.
Right. The next question is from Bhavesh Nagface from VCET. He's asking, would you give more information about CSMM and how many parts are there in IS 1200?
Actually, as I told, IS 1200, it is using in India. I'm not experienced in India. As I know, it's around 27 parts are there. Different parts, like it is earthwork, masonry work, concrete work, plastering, painting, these all things, road works, like that. It is around 27, I think, parts are there in the IS 1200. And as far as CESMM3 is concerned, it's only one book in which there are different classes, class A, class B, class C, class D. all these classes referring to same like here. Instead of part, it is class A, B, C, D, like earthwork, concrete work, road work, like that. So it's only one book in CESMM3, and it is basically the same. Both are actually the same, but there will be minor differences considering IS 1200 and CESMM3. That's it.
Can you also give a little more highlight on which code are you using there in Dubai?
Yeah, this is what I told. This is CESMM3. This is called CESMM3, Civil Engineers Standard Method of Measurement Edition 3. This is using in most of the foreign countries, including UAE, Qatar, Middle East, everywhere. It is using CESMM3. In India, we are using IS 1200. It is Indian standard. It is exclusively for India.
Yes, so you got this exposure of CSMM3 after you reached Dubai. Did they give you a training on how to use the code and all?
It is basically not required actually. As per my experience, when I came in this industry, normally when we are joining as a junior QS or someone, there will always be another QS above you. Okay, so whatever you need, you can refer to him. You are not the only one in that company. You will always will have another QS above you. So it is not that difficult to be familiarized with this sort of codes and all.
Right, so it is self-learning process.
Yes, yes, yes.
Also, being in a lockdown phase, can you recommend the courses which the viewers out there can learn on quantity surveying?
Actually, the courses means there are softwares used in quantity surveying, especially in the estimation side. It is one software I can point out. It is Candy, CANDY, which is used in estimation side, in which we can upload our drawings. Then you can take the quantities. Then rate analysis also we can do there, budgeting, forecasting. These sort of things can be done there. So most of the companies using this tool for their estimation. And in the post contract stage, when they're in the post contract stage, the QS, when they are doing the payment applications, billing and all, normally all of us are using Microsoft Excel only. There is no tools we are using for the site, because in the Excel itself there are a lot of uh, uh, facilities available in the Excel itself, which we can use for our day-to-day activities.
Right. The next question comes from Sandesh Uttekar from VCET.
Yeah.
Sir, would you put some light on current employment scenario for fresh civil engineers in Dubai or Middle East region in general?
Actually, this is a general question. Most of the freshers, those who are concerned about this one, whether they can get a opening here in Middle East or somewhere. Actually, there are many companies, those who are looking for fresh engineers. They want to train them. They want to recruit them and train them to develop their culture, to develop their own culture in the new engineers. So there are a lot of possibilities there, but how to reach there, how to reach in that particular company, or this is a difficult path. So I suggest, if you can go through, if you can register in LinkedIn is the good platform where freshers and everyone can utilize. There are a lot of tools available in LinkedIn, wherein you can go and search many companies, what is their interest is. A lot of things you can search there. So I suggest to make use of this LinkedIn platform for freshers and other job seekers.
Right. The next question is from Gaurav Baviskar from DMCE.
Okay.
In BBS, do we include the bend elongation while calculating the quantity of steel?
Yeah, because actually I didn't mention the BBS in my presentation. BBS nothing but bar bending schedule, based on which we are calculating the total tonnage, total quantity of the steel. BBS, we are calculating the total tonnage, though the bending length need to be calculated, need to be included in the BBS. So whatever total quantity coming in the bottom of this BBS bar bending schedule, that is the quantity we are getting paid. So that is the actual BOQ quantity.
Right, sir. The next is from Gufran Khokar
Yeah,
from AIKTC School of Engineering, Panvel.
yeah.
He's asking how much experience a BE civil engineer requires to get a job in Middle East.
It depends on companies. Actually, as I told you, some companies they need fresh engineers. Some companies they need experienced engineers only. So it is up to each company. It is generally we cannot say companies not taking freshers or only taking experienced engineers. There are many companies they are recruiting fresh engineers. So as I told, you can utilize the facilities in LinkedIn, so that you will be aware of.
Right. The next question is from Milan Nakum, UCOE. He's asking, sir, any discussion on rate escalation precisely for long-term contracts or projects, and how the rates are decided to satisfy contractor and consultant or client?
Yeah, rate escalation. I will in the I am in the road contracting company. In our company, I will share my experience. In our company, we are using mostly bitumen, because we are using wearing cost, base cost. It's all bitumen based. So bitumen price is almost varying every month. There will be up and downs. So in long term projects, we will always have a escalation clause in our contract. So we will have a base price for bitumen. That quotation also we will be giving to the client in the initial time. We will tell them this is the base rate of bitumen what we considered in our BOQ. So any variation from this rate will be calculated based on some formulas. Some formulas will be there to calculate the escalation, and based on that formulas, every month or whatever period mentioned in the contract. In some contract, it will be mentioned for the next 6 months, the rate will be fixed. And from thereafter, we will revise the rate according to the market rate. So in some contract, there will be monthly revision. Every month, they will revise the price. So it is up to each contract what it is mentioned in the contract. So this is what we are doing. We will give them an invoice from the supplier who is supplying the bitumen. Not only bitumen, it's aggregate, diesel, whatever it is. We will give them an invoice with showing the rate what we considered in the time of estimation. And as a this keeping this one as a base, we will calculate the escalated rate based on some formulas. That's it.
All right. The next question is from Swanand Vagode
Yeah,
from GCEK.
yeah.
He's asking, when considering multiple projects, if we use some equipment or materials from another project, how is it considered in BOQ?
No, we cannot consider this one in BOQ. It is up to if we, for example, if I am having a company, I am using my equipments in one of my project here, and I am using the same day or next day in another work. It is up to the contractor to decide what will be the rate. If I am using the same equipment in both side, I will be having a lesser rate. So while doing my rate analysis, I will be considering the cost of my equipment as less. Okay, so it is beneficial for me. So I cannot do anything with BOQ quantity or anything. I will when I am doing the rate analysis, I can have some advantage, like I can use the same equipment in both project. In this project, I am using half, and that project I'm using half. So in this project, instead of keeping this equipment idle somewhere, we can use the same. You can utilize that in another project. So I can give some lesser rate, then we have a more chance of getting the job.
Right. So the next question is from Lilith Thakur from BITS Education Campus.
Yeah.
He's asking, can you guide about the language to be used for contract preparation?
Language, I think he's asking whether it is English or something, right? So basically it is English, and there are some languages, specific language in the sense there are some wordings and all which is only used in the contract. So as I told, it is FIDIC, FIDIC. It is the internationally accepted conditions of contract in which you can refer anything related to job. You can refer there. You can use the same wordings and all. You can copy paste and you can use for a new contract.
Right. The next question is from Mithil Naik from VCET. He's asking if lump sum price is paid by the client, and if there is a certain rise in cost of some material, then what impact has to be bared and by whom? The client has to pay, or adjustment done?
Yeah, this adjustment, this one also we need to be specific when we are agreeing the contract, when we are signing the contract. Same like price escalation, what I have explained in a lump sum contract also. If there is a, if it is a long term project, if there is a chance of escalation or de-escalation, then we need to put this clause in the contract itself. If it is not mentioned in the contract, we cannot do anything. It is up. If a price is going up, it is the contractor's responsibility to bear the cost and do the work. That's it. If he's thinking that there is a chance of increase in rate in the coming months or in the next year, then he should include that one in the contract. And same like what I have mentioned, the formula to be included and the base price to be included in the contract itself.
All right. The next question is again from Bhavesh, who is a alumni of VCET.
Yeah.
He's asking, you showed about the conditions about the contract FIDIC.
Yeah.
So would you give us a little more knowledge about FIDIC, and is there a color code?
Actually, FIDIC, there are many colors. FIDIC Red Book. If I open up the FIDIC, it is a vast area. Now I cannot explain in half an hour or something. It's a vast area. Actually, I will tell you, this quantity surveying, it is a 4 or 5 year course in UK, and in Sri Lanka also they are following the same UK syllabus. It is a 5 year contract. It's not only quantity surveying, it is a contracts administration. It's all together. It is around 4 to 5 year course. That means it's a vast area. Contract administration is a vast area, and FIDIC also. So I cannot explain FIDIC in a short time. It is, there are many training available to understand the FIDIC. There are color, as he told, there are color books, FIDIC, red book, yellow book. It's all referring to some subcontract work, some lump sum work, some remeasurable work. It is like that. So uh, if we need to know more about FIDIC, there are training available. I think online there are some trainings available. I'm not aware of specifically what it is or where it is. I'm not aware, but there are. I know there are available.
All right. And this is a general question from many of our participants.
Yeah.
There are all people who wants to go and work in Gulf countries.
Yeah.
And now, because of COVID, the scope is low. We all know that.
Yeah.
But can you just give a little more light to how to get a job in Gulf or generally abroad? And also, Mrunali has specifically asked how to start from scratch to become a senior level QS.
Uh, Basically, I will suggest, if you are a fresher, if you are really interested in QS job, whatever job, is QS or planning engineer or a structural engineer or a site engineer, whoever it is, you just focus on that one. Just focus and try for that one. Get maximum knowledge for that particular job from available source and focus on that one. Then as I told you, there are many companies, they are looking for fresh engineers. So if you are looking for a QS job as a fresher and you have got enough idea about how the work is going on, like what I have given you, like that, if you have some other knowledge also, or some other from other some sources, you got a lot of knowledges, then when you are going for an interview, you should be very confident in front of the interviewer, and you can explain what you can do as a fresher also. So it is very easy for you to get a job even as a fresher. So the main thing is you have to be focused. You have to be focused. You have to realize what you can do, what is your potential is. If you're really interested in QS job, maybe after watching my session, some people they may think, no, it is not for me, I cannot and manage this one. Some people may think, yeah, this is interesting, I can do this one. So if you are really interested, try to get maximum knowledge and prepare for anything. Okay, as I told you, there are many companies looking for fresh engineers. So when you are going for an interview, you will be very confident. You can tell them, I have this knowledges. Even as a fresher, I have this knowledges. So they will be impressed. You have more chance of getting that job.
Right. The next question is from Yash Jivani from VCET. He is asking, does working drawings prepared by contractors require sanctioning?
Yeah, actually, in most of the projects here, working drawing, which is called a shop drawing, it is required approval from consultant, not from any authorities. It is from the consultant, who is the mediator between client and the contractor. So, consultant have to approve this drawing before doing the work.
All right. Preeti Nagargoje from Vimit has almost similar question. She is asking, sir, what are the technical sanctions required to finalize the drawing?
Actually, there are a lot of local authorities. Like here in UAE, we have same like India. We have water authority, electricity authority. We have other telecom authority. So especially here, we need all the NOCs. If you are planning to build a building in somewhere in some location, so we need to get approval from the municipality first. We have to submit all the drawings first. They have to give you the approval. We have to show them where it is coming. Is there any utilities going? Then authority, they will check the drawing. They will send to each party. Like there is a telecom authority, the water authority. They will send to everyone. They will confirm that there is no issue to start the work there. Then they will issue the permit.
Right. Ayusha Panchal from VCET also have a very similar question regarding your code. So
Yeah.
she is asking, what is the major difference between IS and CSMM3 code in type of construction or material?
Actually, as I told you, I'm not much familiar with IS 1200 because I have not worked in India. After completion of my graduation, I directly came here. I started my career here only. So when I was checking some of the items, I'm just comparing the IS and SESM. I cannot find much differences. Some small differences are there, but there is no much differences. I can say that.
All right. The next question is from Shyam Das Gangrade. He's asking, is normally contracts in percentage rate? And what is the criteria for the type of contract?
I didn't get that question. Can you read again?
Yes. Shyam is asking,
Yeah.
is normally contracts on percentage rate? And what is the criteria for choosing which type of contract?
No, percentage rate, what does it mean? What he meant, I don't know exactly, but the type of contract, it is deciding by the client, which type of contract to be awarded. So he will decide whether it is a lump sum contract or a remeasurable contract. And the percentage rate, I'm not familiar with this word percentage rate. I don't know what he meant for this one.
All right. Rohit Shelar is asking, how COVID-19 has affected the construction cost of running projects.
Actually, as far as the Middle East is concerned, there is no impact so far. I can say so far because here in Middle East, it is the construction sector is considered as a vital sector. So there is no, even though there are many sectors closed, locked, construction sector never stopped. It's still running. So there is no impact so far. But there are some contracts, there are some developers, they're told to reprice the contract because the cost, they are having the cost implication, they are having a lot of issues. So it is not a general thing, but in some area I can say there are some developers, they're told to revise the price if they can, if the contractor can reduce the price of construction or not.
Right. The next question is from Khan Hufeiza, who is a PG student from AIKTC Panvel.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, if the quantity exceeds as per BOQ, is
Yeah.
there any clause in CES MM3 or IS to cover up?
Yes, actually, if it is lump sum contract, as I told you, lump sum contract, it is not. But if it is remeasurable contract, we can have the advantage of claiming more. But there is a limit. Limit is mentioned in. It is up to the client also, but in FIDIC it is mentioned around 10%. 10% up and down it can be. If it is going less than 10%, it will be a loss for the contractor because he priced for a big project, and if the total quantity is reducing, then it will be a loss. So there is a chance of repricing the contract. And also if it is going more than 10%, like 110%, then again there is a chance of repricing. The client, he may ask for a repricing, he may ask for reducing the price. So it is there.
All right. So we have come to an end of our question answer session.
Okay.
Thank you, Harris, for such a wonderful and informative session. I'm really confident that you have already built up the minds of students listening to you
Yeah.
and to be ready to take up their career as a quantity surveyor.
Thank you everyone for listening me, and I hope it will be an added advantage in your career going forward.
Yes, and I hope for all the viewers out there, it is clear to you that quantity surveying has so much calculation beyond our calculation. And
Yes.
now I request our HOD, Dr. Sunilji Kirloskar sir, please deliver the vote of thanks.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Harish, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
It was really informative, excellent, easy to understand seminar from you. And I'm sure all the participants, students, parents, whosoever are attending this, they must have the same experience.
Thank you.
Now, you know that students learn the subject quantity surveying like any other subject of civil engineering branch. But how it is used in practice, that is very interesting to know and less explored rather, unlike the other subjects of civil engineering like structure, building, etc. So that way, this seminar of yours was super, I tell you. On this, with this note, I thank our management, Vartak Sahab, chairman, our chairman, Mr. Sahab, Principal Sir Dr. Harish Vankudre, all our civil engineering department organizing and technical committees, because this is our first experience really to to conduct such type of middle, our role was middle person. So it was excellently, nicely handled by our Prakash Panda, Anu Madam, Vikrant Kothari, and others. And when such seminars happen very nicely, that time we really feel very nice and satisfied, because all our efforts behind that, come rather become fruitful. So, and above all, I must thank our participants who have given the overwhelming response for this seminar. So with this note, I thank you, Mr. Harish, for sparing your time on your holiday weekend. Though the outside time world is not very suitable at present, but still you took it very seriously and joined with us. So I once again thank you very much and goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all the participants for making this session fruitful. Thank you, Harish, once again for all the information you have passed on. We have had over 1,000 views for our last 2 sessions.
Okay.
And on behalf of the entire civil engineering department, I express my gratitude for making our webinar a huge hit. Tomorrow, we have our 4th session on basics of steel structures by Mr. Mohammad Hashim, senior structural engineer, who would be joining us from Dubai. So till we meet again tomorrow, stay safe, stay indoors, but keep learning. Have a good day and thank you.
Thank you.